Thank you, everyone, for joining us on a new episode of Smoke a Fire. I'm your host, AK, the Sun God himself. I am here with my esteemed colleague, Dr. Puffco Poppy. What are we puffing on today?
That was a long ass applause. Like they was clapping, for a long.
Man, they were excited for us.
they hype as hell. What are we puffing on? I am puffing on some rum pie from Beazle, the lovely folks at Beazle.
Mm-hmm.
Great terps.
Do you like rum pie?
I do like rum pie. It's like 8% terps on it. It's a great batch.
Do you also like to party?
I do like to party. Just like Austin, Texas knows that. Shout out to Austin, Texas.
Tell us about Austin, Texas.
They love to party, and they know how to fucking party. So,
tell us more. Say more things about Austin, Texas.
It's a fun city. I haven't been there in like 10 years. So
is everything bigger in Texas?
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
You didn't? Okay.
Yeah, that's what they say. Nah, I was there for a bachelor party this past weekend. I haven't been there in about a decade, so it's my first time back. And the city's it's grown and changed so much since the last time I was there. It was fun last time I was there, but it's really, really fun. It's a really good time. 6th Street up there, Austin.
Okay. What was the atmosphere like? Was it hot?
I mean, it's hot. It's Texas in the summertime, so I mean, it wasn't chill, but you know, it's a great city. Like I said, it's got great vibes. It's kind of got like a urban, almost feels like an East Coast city a little bit in spirit, but also has that that heart of that Texas South. It's still very, very Texas. You in Texas, you're gonna see the cowboy boots. You're gonna have the country music and the flavor and like that. The great Texas food, the brisket and barbecue and all that good stuff. So,
did you see any mechanical bulls there?
I'm sure we did see a couple. I went to way too many bars with the homies.
You didn't ride any?
You wild as shit. No.
What's wrong with riding mechanical bulls? It's about balance and dexterity.
Is that an activity you think that you would see me doing of all people?
Also, in the background, we have Nova Prime himself. Give us a oh yeah. He can't hear us.
I don't think.
We'll say something
to give us a oh yeah.
Okay. He's very excited to be on the show, everybody. Later on, he'll be playing guitar, everybody, for a live performance of his personal album that's coming out. It's called Stoic, and you know this. Anyways, we have a bunch of topics. You should see his outfit. He looks amazing right now. And I can say that because that's my cousin. But that's a great outfit, man. It's a great outfit. You're welcome. See, that's all you got to say, man. When a man gives you a compliment, you just say it. Don't feel weird about it. We both feel weird about it. See, now you pause it. Now you made it weird. He made it weird because he said pause. That's what made it weird. It only makes it weird when you say pause. Okay. Anyways, one thing that didn't get a pause last night was the ass whooping that was dealt by the Boston Celtics to the Dallas Mavericks. It was a barn burner. And I do like that the playoffs, there's a lot of blowouts, but it gives teams a chance to figure out what the fuck went wrong and retool and come back stronger for game 2 because that was atrocious.
Yeah, this was the Tingus Pingus game, my man.
That is the episode of today's. That is the title of today's episode. What in God's name is Tingus Pingus?
You ain't seen the meme when Porzingis got drafted. I think it was like that Zionist piece of shit Michael Rappaport was like talking about. Oh, like Porzingis, who the fuck is this? Tingus Pingus, who the fuck we just draft? So yeah, you know what I'm saying. It goes back to that old video where people call that man Tingus Pingus, but Tingus Pingus was hooping. Like I was saying even before that he was the swing factor. Like I don't believe in the Celtics unless they have Porzingis back because he gives them a dimension that takes them over the top. They're a great team even without Porzingis. Clearly,
isn't that the Michael Carter Williams draft? Michael Carter Williams, Stanley Johnson draft. If that was the draft, you kind of, you know what I'm saying. What the hell else were you supposed to do about that?
I mean, yeah, that was a great pick from the Knicks. I mean, honestly, Porzingis is a great player. If he, injuries are the worst part, and that stint in Dallas was the worst part of his career. But he was very good for the Wizards. People kind of really
why that didn't work out. But.
Yeah, they really overlooked that. Well, like when he was here in DC, Porzingis was hooping. He was playing very well.
A little stint in DC.
Yeah, so
a little cup of coffee in DC.
And that's the Porzingis that they traded for. So I think people forget that. They're thinking of the Dallas Porzingis, or they're thinking of the broken down New York Porzingis, and it's like, no, he's been pretty healthy and good the last, couple seasons. And, him giving the Celtics that ability to shoot and that rim protection on both ends, that ain't Al Horford. Now you got to reconsider what you're doing at the rim. And he can stretch it better than Al Horford and do more things. So
Pause.
the basketball floor spacing, stretch the floor, the basketball hardwood
Oh, Jesus,
spacing.
Jesus. Oh, Jesus. See, when you say it makes everything weird after that. Okay, go ahead. My bad. You were in the middle of a dissertation, and I was being so incredibly...
Basketball can sound out of pocket,
rude,
out of
childish.
context.
Like when Jason Terry, he said, we had to suck the whole D. We had to penetrate their bigs and suck in the whole D.
Yeah, it's just...
He said that into a live microphone. I didn't know if he knew what he was talking about. I was like, oh, shit. What did he do? Woo. Anyways, man. What isn't a joke is the ass whooping that the Mavericks are getting right now, because they got their ass whooped last night.
Yeah, Drew Holiday also came up really big, too. People forget how big, good Drew Holiday is because of the role he's been in. But having him, Derek White, and Jaylen Brown, that's a straitjacket. That is not a friend.
And shouts to KP, man. He like the X factor out there, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's going to be the swing factor. Tatum, he's not escaping the allegations. He's not escaping the 6'10" Bradley Beal allegations. He's not escaping them. His team keeps winning when he has terrible games because he has a great team, and then they bail him out, as they should. So it's I think it is fair why people say it's hard to judge Jason Tatum of like, how good is he in the top 10 of players? Like, where exactly is he in that top 10? Because his team be bailing him out. He be having some stinkers. He be having some flat out booty cheat games.
All right,
and
so
his team.
Let's do it. Is he better than Luka?
No.
Better than Shea?
No.
Better than Steph?
Steph now. I don't know. Who would I rather have? Like, what are we saying better? Like, he's younger.
I'm just trying to put him where's
defensively
in the top 10. I don't think he's in the top 10.
Oh, you don't think he's in the? Oh, that's crazy.
I don't think
he's
Jason
in the top
Tatum's
10.
in the top 10, bro.
He's definitely in the top 10.
Because when you go through 10, I could skip Jason Tatum.
Nah, you look, man. You got
10 best players in the league.
Joker, Luka, SGA, Giannis, Embiid. I'm not an Embiid guy, but I gotta give it to Embiid.
Go ahead, keep on.
Then I think we're starting to get into the Jason Tatum range now. Who you got? Who you think is better than Tatum beyond this? Anthony Davis. Is health a part of this? 'Cause, I mean,
okay. Anybody listen in the comments? Tell me who's a better player between Jason Tatum and Anthony Davis. I want to see the results.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. No, that's a fair. I mean, throw it out there.
That's a fair one.
I'm not saying either answer is preposterous. I'm not. You know how I talk about Jason Tatum. You know I'm not the biggest.
But you are right though. We do get in the weeds about it. About like 5 or 6. You get in the weeds to split hairs to put him into 10. So he could be 6, 7, 8, something like that. But that top 5, he ain't cracking top 5 for me, big dog. But the 6'10" Bradley Beal.
Don't say top 5. Absolutely not entertaining that. He ain't in my top 5, but he's definitely in that category. Jason Tatum's the best player on one of the best teams.
Is Jason Tatum better than Kawhi?
Is he better than Kawhi? See, now we're getting into durability versus like Kawhi. I love Kawhi, but you're gambling. You got a 30% chance of that man being healthy and cooking, but when he's going to play like Michael Jordan in his prime.
Did you watch Clipped?
No, but the clips I've seen look fucking hilarious. I have to watch Clip now. Now, I wasn't going to watch Clip until I've seen some of the clips from Clipped, and now I'm absolutely going to watch that.
All right, let me explain to everybody. Look, we all understand that the casting, it was wonton. It was trash. The casting was trash. But if you look past the casting, what you have is a very, very good show. You know that because, you know, we followed the Clippers, the Lob City Clippers, you know what I'm saying, and all the turmoil and stuff that happened during the Donald Sterling era. And there's a lot of good fun facts in the junk. I mean, once again, the casting is jarring, but
Jarring.
if you look past it, like, bro, oh my God.
I dare any of these niggas to have a bad game.
I
dare any one of these niggas to. Chris Paul better not motherfucking have a bad game.
There is like a lot of there's casting so bad to the point, and we was like, bro, that's Jamal Crawford.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I thought that was just a random guy.
Steph, Clay, or Draymond better not have a fucking bad game. The way they looking in that documentary, bro.
Yeah, but oh yeah, the Steph crazy,
like Dak Prescott.
That stuff crazy. But if you're able to look past it, it's a pretty good show, especially how everything is maneuvered in the way. Shouts to Ed Helms, man. I mean, is it Ed Helms? No, it's not Ed Helms. Ed O'Neal. Shouts to Ed O'Neal, man. He plays a good Sterling, man. He plays a good Sterling, and yeah, and they take a lot of liberties, but they do play up the fact that Chris Paul and Blake did not like each other at all. I mean, that was obvious. They didn't like each other because they feel like they were both Beyonce, as it were, you know, at the same time.
Oh yeah, towards the end of that, yeah.
But yeah, it's a good show, man. You should catch up to it. 2 episodes came out. Back to the finals. What are your predictions now? Now that we got a blowout, game 1 blowout at home.
I still think we'll probably go to 7 games.
We're definitely going to 7.
I still am gonna go with the Mavs in 7.
All that Mavs and 6 shit is crazy that we said.
People forget the Celtics are just really good because they just be bullshitting. They play with their food in every series when they're against inferior opponents. Mm-hmm. But I mean, the Celtics were my pick to come out of the East from the beginning, and then I had Denver out of the West, but Denver didn't do it for me. So I was just like, I mean, Celtics are always going to be a formidable team. If you just look at their top 6 players, like that's as good as you can get for a top 5 or 6 players on your roster. For a starting 5 defensively, that's just fucking incredible. And that gives you enough offense at any night, as we see if Tatum or Brown has a bad game. Derek White can lift you up. You know, Drew Holiday can lift you up. You know, Al Horford can give you double figures some nights and lift you up. So it's like, dude, they're a great team.
Well, my only hot take is there's going to come a day where Jason Tatum is not the best player on the Celtics. It's going to be Jaylen Brown. I see that happening already.
Yeah, I mean, there's some arguments for it now because in clutch time and some of these big moments, Jaylen Brown's the one making the plays. So, you know, he's trying to earn that $300 million contract. So,
yeah, I had a joke. I'm not going to say it. All right, moving on. What else we got in basketball? We have the big Dan Hurley news.
Oh, yeah. Lakers trying to find them a coach that is good for young players and development. People making jokes that they need to get a coach in there for Bronny to get him ready. But, yeah, he was a great coach. I mean, that's one of the hottest hires. People are reading the subtext as JJ was on an interview the other day and was talking about, you know, he's focused on the finals and not the coach search. So that kind of lines up with the reports that he's not the only one or wasn't as close. Kind of poked a hole in Sham's credibility since that was Sham's report. So a little bit of drama there, yeah. So something going on there behind the scenes at NBA scoop Twitter between Shams, the great war between Shams and Woj.
That's the real rap beef right there.
Yeah, the Woj Shams, yeah, like whatever's going on
the
between
two towers, Lord of the Rings, the 2 towers type shit. Mm-hmm.
So that's where we're at with that.
Yeah, I'd like to see a college coach make the transition. We've seen a bunch that have, and it hasn't worked out. So it'll be good to see it work out.
And it's cool that he kept it real with his team and had a meeting with them and didn't deny the reports and just had a meeting while they were at practice. Like, yeah, dog, I'm talking to the Lakers, and it's a possibility. Because some of them kids went and signed up to play for him, you know? So it's like, don't be a snake and tell them in their face, like, hey, I'm staying here forever, and then bounce like a lot of coaches do.
I mean, but if that bag come in, I'll see you fucking kids later.
Yeah, at least be honest about it. Yeah, he kept it real. It's like, hey, look, that's the Lakers, bro. That's the Lakers.
You just got to understand.
Yeah, it's a dream job. Like, you get to be the coach of the Lakers. Come on.
Yep. So, that might be it for NBA. we'll see you in game 2, whatever happens. Hopefully the Mavs make an adjustment. Moving on.
The W. We gotta go to the W real quick.
Let's go to the W. The other side of that coin. The W.
Yeah, it's a lot of hot discourse. I love that the W is popping now, and that this is like one of the hottest topics in sports, and everybody's watching the games. The Angel Reese was in town. That jump was lit. It was packed out in that bitch. I like that. I'm a Cameron Brink fanboy over here. I'm sorry, Dr. Umar. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Forgive me.
Umar would just have to.
Yeah, he would be ashamed of me for my opinions on
Umar
Cameron
would
Brink.
just have to understand about this.
Yeah, so and just like I said, it's popping. I just love seeing the storylines, people caring, people knowing the players, people really being excited. Once I saw tunnel fits for WNBA players, I knew it was it. They've arrived. People give a fuck enough to like share their fits now coming down.
And
just
I
like,
watch all of them.
yeah, it's cool. It's like, this is great. Watching the game progress. I'm someone who's been, like I said, my family had season tickets to the Mystics since I was like a little kid. So I've been going to WNBA games since we had Nikki McCrae and Shamika Holtzclaw, way back in the day. Like I like the WNBA. It's a good product, but I get it. They haven't done a good job of advertising the league and things like that. But the Caitlin Clark thing is what I really wanted to touch upon. The controversy of the white savior of basketball, apparently. And I like Caitlin Clark. I'm gonna say that before I start sounding like a fucking super hater, because I wasn't even having this tone even a week or two ago. Because I've been big. Like, Caitlin Clark's a flamethrower. She does remind me of like a Steph Curry type. She's very, very dynamic. She's great for the game. I'm glad that her popularity is growing the game in the way that it is. And I think most of this is not her fault. It's like her it's like a toxic fan base thing. Yeah, it is not. This is no fault to Caitlin Clark. She is just out there on a bad team fighting for her damn life as a rookie. She didn't put them expectations on herself. So none of this is a knock at Caitlin Clark specifically. It is them weird fanboys that are treating Caitlin Clark like she is the Jesus, like Wembanyama of women's basketball. They're treating her like she's out there putting up Wemby numbers, and like she is the savior, and that all these other players need to just be grateful that Caitlin Clark is here. Matter of fact, they should take it easy on her and let her go off and score 30, because she's the one getting them flights, and she's the reason. She's not the reason that the league is popping. The league is popping because the league is popping. Because if you look at Caitlin Clark's numbers right now, Shorty is playing like Jordan Poole right now. It is not her lighting up the league, and that's with the reason.
And some shit.
And a turnover machine. She's like 15 points a game, and like more turnovers than like I said. Like, bro, like, calm down. Caitlin Clark will be fine, but she's on a gutter team right now. And also, yeah, the other ladies in the league are gonna take it personal when you pretend like the league didn't exist while they were out there putting in work. Aja Wilson's in that jump, putting up 26 and 12, two-time champion, two-time MVP. And y'all talking about Caitlin Clark putting up Jordan Poole numbers is the only reason that the league is relevant. There's other good players, which is the reason the league is popping. Like, these ladies is hooping right now. It's not just a novelty thing. People have tuned in to be like, oh, damn, like, they are hooping out here. So it's just, I just want people to calm down on the Caitlin Clark thing. Like, she's the only reason that the W is popping right now. She's a big ass reason for it. And it's great that she's helping grow the league. But the fact that she is a white girl from Iowa, it's politically driving some of this. She's become the face of white America. I've seen Fox News now embrace her as like, look at this. This is discrimination because she's a straight white woman in a league full of black lesbian women. That has become the narrative on the rest. So it's like, this is fucking crazy, bro. Just let her hoop. God damn it. Like, fuck.
Yeah, it's never just about the hoop, man.
Don't turn her into a fucking conservative fucking icon. And again, I don't think she's doing it. She hasn't invited it, but they have just latched onto her.
She hasn't done anything about it. She just went out. She just goes out there and hoops. She doesn't perpetuate. She does complain a little bit, but you know what I'm saying? That's to be expected. You're the Madonna of the league right now. Then you know what I'm saying? Everybody in your goddamn face all the time. So that's just how that goes.
But now she's
Those be the break.
Yeah, so just let her hoop, let her figure it out. Again, Steph Curry wasn't Steph Curry in year one either. You know, it took him a while to figure it out before he was a dominant force, and you know, players like that.
A couple ankle surgeries too.
And
right?
also, when you are the number one pick, usually that's because that team was butt cheeks as they were. And again, Matt Barnes made a good point that ain't no if like either they fucking hate her, which it might be possible that they actually hate her, or it's like you don't have an enforcer on your team. You need every team, as you know, you need at least one goon. He don't have to even be good at basketball. I've seen teams brought in like James Jones past his prime just because he could fight.
Yeah.
Like you got to bring in somebody who could you need set a hard screen and be like, if someone tries to come at your star player, get ejected. I need you to get ejected. And I need you to let people know that they can't fuck with like Draymond would have been in the Hannibal Lecter gear if you had done that to Steph Curry. They would have had that man in that Gojo prison to try to like he would have been in all types of. It's no way it would be rocking. So you need an enforcer for your star to protect those stars.
Someone nefarious.
Yeah, you got to get somebody sketchy, somebody with some black Air Forces on your team to make sure that the stars stay upright. So that's another thing that the Fever got to get together.
Somebody that'll undercut a motherfucker going up for a rebound type shit.
Yeah, that's what you need. Every team needs at least one.
That's crazy.
So therefore,
I just hope I just hope her career pans out the way that she has been billed, because if she doesn't, it's going to be a lot of people are going to be disappointed. But they shouldn't be disappointed because you shouldn't have, you know what I'm saying, done all this. Especially the fans. Fans are crazy.
Yeah, and like there will be more, and I think the ones that are coming after her are better, like Juju Watkins and Paige Buckets from
Bucher.
UConn. Yeah, so
Paige Bucher. Yeah, I'm excited to see Juju come in because I think all this Caitlyn shit gonna dry up when.
Yeah, I was like, wait till some real killers come in right after.
Real killers.
No, but I like Caitlyn. She's gonna be all right. And again, I don't think it's her. She, you know what I'm saying? I don't think any of this is her fault. That's why I feel kind of bad for her that they made her the face of white, straight, Iowa, lifestyle. I guess conservative America has really latched onto her as an icon. And it's like, that sucks.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. We move on from ball. What we got next?
What do we have next? Where are we moving to next? Moving to more racism. Actually, if we're gonna say this is a great segue, going from that. But Star Wars fans are wild. Y'all wild as hell, bro. Y'all wild as hell. As a relative newcomer to this fandom, I haven't been in it in decades. When was the pandemic? It was like less. It was like 5. Yeah, so it's like that's when I got fully into Star Wars and like deep into all the materials, watching all the extended materials and playing the games and reading the comics and getting way into it beyond the movies. Like, y'all wild as hell. Y'all a wild ass fan base. Y'all racist as hell, bro. I ain't seen and it's a lot of racist, toxic fan bases, but this show might take the cake, bro. Like the discourse for this show is insane, and it's not even like. It ain't even that bad. Like the show, it's not even that much to report on the show. We 2 episodes in, you know what I'm saying? The jury's kind of out whether it's gonna be great, whether it's gonna be mid. It's just off to a solid start. It's just like, this is cool. It's got good choreographed kung fu action. We've got a nice little murder mystery going. We're in a new era, so we've got new characters we're introduced to, new Jedi. So it's like we're still getting our feet in this new part of the universe. It's really too early to make any harsh judgments, but I've seen some immediate harsh judgments. I've seen some people
like what?
Very, very, very angry talking about.
What have they been saying?
What do you think? What do you think? What do you think they've been saying?
I don't, because no, I'm not going to say it because that'll be the clip. So. What have they been saying? They've been saying, what about the Asian character or something?
Yeah, well, it's like wokeness. It's wokeness.
It's woke.
It's too woke.
What the hell does too woke mean?
There's not enough white people in it. And it makes people angry for some reason. And this is so funny to me. I don't understand this.
Why? Because Trinity got killed off in the first episode?
Yeah, was that? Yeah, it's like maybe they took that personally. Like, I don't understand because I don't notice shit like that in shows. Because me, as a nigga that enjoys Game of Thrones and Sons of Anarchy and some of the whitest ass fucking shows you've ever seen in your life. We weren't out here complaining. We weren't out here talking about we just living in the period piece, but God forbid we go to outer space with Jar Jar Binks and Yoda and shit, and you see a black person, and is that a step too far for you? Like, that is insane to me. That's insane to me. If that takes you out of the immersion, not of all things, not the bad CGI, not the freaking crazy shit that was going on in the Book of Boba Fett with the fucking weird 60 street gangs and shit. That's not too far, but a black person. Every time I see a black person in Star Wars, there's this insane outrage, and it's just like I don't understand it. As a black person, all we had was Lando for years, nigga. All we had was Lando for years, dog. What the fuck? And that can we have now? We get a couple more characters, and it's like Star Wars is ruined. Ruined, son. It wasn't ruined. We had to follow white ass Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia and Han Solo and every other fucking goddamn protagonist. So I'm sorry, man. I'm not trying to get too political on my rant, but what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Why y'all so racist, bro? Why? Just watch the show. Just judge the show off of its merits. Don't review bomb the show and say it's the worst show I've ever seen off of a pilot that didn't even give us that much. It was like it's a murder mystery that we just got one episode of, dog. We don't know if it's gonna be bad yet. Yeah, two. It's a 2-episode premiere, but they're short episodes.
Yeah, really
So it's like it's just
I probably did finish the second episode. I just don't remember.
yeah, it's like we didn't get that. Like they end like abruptly, and we don't get that. They're setting things up. We got 2 setup episodes. Like, all right, so I don't know. Like if things don't pay off, then I'll say the show is bad. If things do pay off, because like the action and the execution has not been that bad. It's like sets look great, fighting was great, choreography was great. Okay, how the acting pretty solid. I don't maybe not great, but like solid. Acting's not bad.
It's cool.
Yeah, so like I'm looking for why people are just like this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like I've seen nigga, have you seen Secret Invasion? Like we were talking about this before. If there's some Disney Plus has put out some horrendous gutter trash,
Booty cheeks.
and you're talking about like this is the worst thing you've ever seen. I'm calling bullshit on that. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Chief. Like even say Book of Boba Fett, bro. Like I don't know, man. I've seen things that were worse. This is wild, and this is a constant problem with this fan base I've seen, because we saw this in Obi-Wan Kenobi when we had a Black Inquisitor. People were really mad about that. It's like, I mean, is it far-fetched that black people would exist in this big ass diverse galaxy? Like I don't understand.
Yes, there could be green people, but no black people.
Yeah, black people. That's too fucking unrealistic.
What the hell is going on?
Unrealistic.
In my Star Wars. Where the hell? Where's my green people with tentacles? Where's the what the hell?
We used to be a proper country.
Proper galaxy.
Yeah, we used to
far,
be.
far away. All right. You wanted to break down the in the Krakoa,
Oh God, yeah. X-Men.
the big book.
X-Men, the big book, the big X-Men number 700 or / X-Men number 35 / the epilogue for the entire Krakoan era of X-Men. It is officially over. The last of the storyline, of what was happening was over, but this is the epilogue where they acknowledge, like, yes, this is the end of this beloved era. And I think they're realizing kind of too late that this era was as beloved as it is. Some people complain that, the mutants need to go back to just being superheroes to punch people from the mansion. Like, they've been doing that, and there's a bunch of fucking teams that already do that.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a bunch of teams that already just do regular. That's the Avengers. You're describing the Avengers. Like, go read the Avengers if you want to see that. That's my whole thing. But we got X-Men 700. It is sad. It is rushed. It is bittersweet. Yeah, it's like it's good, but it's also bad because it's a lot of mixed variations of stories. But at the same point, I just want to touch on just the era as a whole and what it meant to the fans and what it meant, especially to black fans. And I think I saw a lot of people on X or Twitter pointing that out, of how Krakoa really represented like just that sanctuary for black people that was protective, that there was like that right mix of like, we want to be left alone and peaceful, but don't fuck with us. And Krakoa just had that beautiful balance of liberation and, agency that the mutants never had, that, really just spoke to black people. And I think that was underestimated by Marvel when they so quickly gutted this era the way they did. And all good things have to come to an end, and I don't mind them ending Krakoa or even ending it soonish, because some of the books were dragging. But to end it as disrespectfully as they kind of ended it as a whole, where it was such a clear mandate from editorial of like, we don't give a fuck where the storylines were in these books. They have to end by July because we're trying to make a MCU announcement. And we need these new From the Ashes Back to Basics books to be out by the time we make this MCU announcement. So,
I mean, I still say there is time and opportunity for them to do, like, let's say some spin-off live action X-Men shit. You don't even got to be the main team. Let's do some spin-off, whatever, some shit. I feel like that's going to come through soon. Sooner or later than sooner, especially when them actually hitting the MCU X-Men. A lot of more X-Men shit is going to come through, bro.
Yeah, and people made a good point. It's going to be, they're going to wait maybe 5-10 years down the road, but Krakoa will come back in some form because once the MCU gets to those storylines, like then once they finally get to Krakoa in X-Men 97 or something like that, then that's when they're going to want to bring Krakoa back in the comics as a reverse synergy. It's going to come full circle, as it always does. So now once it becomes the MCU, they're going to want to resync the comics to it, which is why throughout the entire Krakoan era, they always left it open that this was the first Krakoan age. They use that language a lot. When they looked in the future and Destiny looked in the future, they would always refer to this as the first Krakoan age, implying that there will be a second Krakoan age to give them an opportunity, just, you know, from a real life standpoint. If they ever want to revisit the Krakoa story, they can come back to it at some point and be like, see, we told you it was always going to be a second Krakoa. This was the first try that almost went right but didn't quite go right. It just felt rushed because it was such a beloved storyline to people that had to be rushed so fast. Like, we had to get this shit the fuck over with. So, you know, Wolverine, number 50, I thought that was very satisfying. Wolverine, the end of his book, before 700 was great. Him fighting Sabretooth at the end of the Sabretooth War, he cut that man the fuck up. That shit was crazy. It was great. You can't do a big Sabretooth Wolverine book without them having a crazy ass fight. So that's, some of the books ended satisfying, most did not. X-Men 700, it's a anthology book, $8. All right, Marvel. Before I get into the good stuff, I know it was 88 pages. It was a big, robust book. Lots of creators. I like a lot of the creators. We even had Chris Claremont wrote a story in that himself, which was, and I'll get to that one as well. But $8 for a comic book is wild, bro. It's wild. Inflation hitting comic books is getting wild. It's limited. It's like it's limiting the books that I'm buying. Literally, like it's getting expensive. It's getting real expensive. That's all I say.
Was it a hard copy or digital?
Digital. I can't even hold it in my hands.
Right, you don't even get a keepsake.
Yeah, it's like it's on Kindle. Like, so. Wow. I'm just saying, we getting expensive out here for these comics.
This whole time, nigga, I thought you had like a book, like an actual book that you could flip through type shit.
I couldn't even make it to my local comic shop for this one because I was like traveling out of town. I wanted to get X-Men 700. And again, some of the stories are great. The reason that Krakoa had to go away pissed a lot of people off, and it is weird. So I think, as I mentioned last time, like Krakoa got split. So there was half of Krakoa was just like weakened and turned into a regular ass island on the regular Marvel universe, and then the other half of Krakoa ended up in the White Hot Room. Long story short, the White Hot Room is like heaven for mutants. It's connected to the Phoenix Force. It's like a separate space that is not accessible to anybody. So once you're there, you're kind of stuck there. That's why they kind of call it you're in the afterlife, because you can't really go home. You're kind of stuck here. So that was where millions of mutants in Krakoa were in the White Hot Room. At the end of Immortal X-Men, during the final battle for Krakoa, they did kind of a fucked up thing, but kind of a thing that made sense from an editorial standpoint, which was they had all the combat mutants, basically all the mutants that could fight, who were cool, who can be in team books and X-Men books going forward. It's like we're the only ones that can be rescued. We can only take a certain amount of people back. So only all the cool fighting people who we might need in the From the Ashes era books can come back, and all the boring non-combat mutants get left behind in the White Hot Room.
You stay the fuck here.
She can fight. She made it.
Oh, okay.
Jubilee made the cut. As we saw in X-Men 97, Jubilee can fuck some shit up. But the nigga's like, Egg. Yeah, Egg, you gonna have to stay, bro. What you gonna do? Throw gold balls at people? Like, what you? That's the only thing you can literally do. You gonna die. So they left all the people who couldn't really fight.
They'd make that type of ability useful on my hero somehow.
Somehow, I mean, They made it useful in Krakoa. I mean, one of the most important people in Krakoa, but just not for combat. It's like, you're not good at fighting people, but we need you because you can help us bring people back from the dead. Very important. That's a person we never want in combat. Actually, we want him far away and protected. Put him in a sealed panic room whenever.
Yeah, he's plotting.
Whenever. But they all ended up on the Krakoa in the White Hot Room. So we're chilling at the end of this book. The White Hot Room Krakoa reappears on the Marvel Earth. So they're just like, oh shit, you guys are back. How did that happen? And they're just like, 15 years have passed for us for some reason. Okay, that's weird. I didn't know time doesn't usually work that differently. Okay, whatever. We're just going to chalk that up. We don't have time to explain that. 15 years have passed. Cool. We've become super pacifist, advanced mutants in 15 years. Since we've not been bothered by sentinels and had the world trying to murder us and shit, we've been able to just live in peace and resurrect everyone that was killed on Genosha. So all 16 million mutants that we just saw in X-Men 97 get smoked out of existence, they were systematically able to bring back, which is cool. I like that. That's cool. He brought the Genosha mutants back, even though that's kind of a weird way to do it. And then basically they say, okay, now Krakoa has to reunite, and we're going to take your Krakoa, and it's going to go to the White Hot Room forever. We only came back to visit, so the people who are stuck here, if they want to go back home or visit their families, they could do that. So we gave them like a day. We just here for a day, making a pit stop to pick up Krakoa to go basically fuck off to another dimension forever. Therefore, no more Krakoa in the main Marvel universe. Our Paradise Island is officially being removed from Marvel 616. It's going to the White Hot Room forever to not be accessible with a bunch of future pacifists, futuristic mutants.
Is the White Hot Room?
Like I said, it's like a separate dimensional space that is connected directly to the Phoenix Force. Okay. Yeah, it's usually like where phoenixes go when they die and people like that connected to it. And Hope had to, well, like I said, at the end of the Hellfire Gala, when all the mutants got moved through the gates by Xavier and he didn't know where he sent them, he ended up sending them to the White Hot Room. The Hope had to do a bunch of shit to make a new Phoenix. So we have a new Phoenix. The Phoenix that is with Jean now is a brand new Phoenix that was birthed from the White Hot Room through the life of Hope Summers. Like Hope sacrificed herself to become the new baby Phoenix or something like that. And now apparently they tried to explain this in the book. Another thing that was kind of a rough explanation. So they were like, is Hope dead? Or like, where is Hope? And there's like, Hope is now, she literally became Mutant Jesus as her whole destiny. The mutant messiah. So she has now become one with the White Hot Room, and she's just like omnipresent force in the White Hot Room. And now Jean is a powerful, powerful new Phoenix. Jean gets a new solo Phoenix book now, where Jean just to travel the galaxy, just being a super powerful cosmic hero, like, which is awesome. I've always wanted that Phoenix book where Jean gets to just be like a good Phoenix, but has all that super awesome power. And
so the White Hot Room.
Yeah, so all that to be said, Krakoa fucks off like Poochie at the end of The Simpsons, and it's just like, we must go because Kevin Feige said you can't have this in 616 right now. And all the mutants they stay behind because of, the X-Men have to stay and fight for the world, for all the mutants that are, not on Paradise Krakoa, that are left on Earth and have to fight for the hated and feared mutants, blah, blah, blah. We know how that goes. So we get a final panel of, all the main X-Men characters watching, crying as Krakoa fucks off into space. And that is the end of basically Krakoa. And then we get a couple epilogue stories. We get one from Claremont himself. He came back to write one of the short stories, which is awesome, which was the retcon that he always wanted to do with Nightcrawler, Mystique, and Destiny. All the people, the X-Men are so fucking woke to make, Nightcrawler have two moms. The nigga who wrote the thing said that's what he intended back in the day, and it was too woke for the 80s. They rejected the idea because they was like, he can't have two moms in the 1980s. But that was always Claremont's intention, which is why he came back to write this short story to like solidify to people like, yes, this is what I wanted. Always wanted Destiny to be Nightcrawler's mother and Mystique to be Nightcrawler's father, because she can, like Monster Girl, turn into a man and be the father. So it's like that's basically what the short story is about them having a family picnic. Mystique,
what man did she turn into?
Probably Azazel, I would assume, because there was a whole plot line where he was supposed to be Azazel's son, and they were together, and it was like a plot to make sure Azazel didn't destroy the earth because he's like a demon, and it was a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
Is that canon?
It is canon, yes.
I thought it was
the red demon, Azazel, red teleport nigga from.
Yeah, I thought Azazel and Mystique was. Nightcrawler's parents?
That's what they retconned. That was originally what in the 80s. That's what they went with, and it was recently retconned. Okay. Yeah, and it was recently retconned. I'm talking like last year. Like X-Men Blue Origins came out, and they did an official retcon of like who the fuck are actually Nightcrawler's parents, because it was always kind of mystery. That was what was assumed and was like led to, but it was never like explicitly confirmed. So they confirmed it, and they had to retcon some stuff to make it make sense. Like they said Xavier, they went to Xavier to have Xavier wipe their minds of it. So that's why when Mystique and Nightcrawler first meet, they don't just be like, what the fuck? And so Xavier put that, then he wiped his mind of doing it. So they couldn't just be like, hey, why'd you do? He's like, I don't fucking know what you're talking about.
Xavier be on bullshit.
Oh, no, we're going to get to him. He is his own short story. Xavier be on the most bullshit. And then we're going to get to Xavier. And it's just a story about a family picnic between Nightcrawler, Rogue, Destiny, and Mystique. And they're just like reconciling their very complicated ass family. Because as we know, Rogue is Mystique's adopted daughter. So they're siblings, and they're also, it's really fucked up because Destiny was the one who was like, hey, wipe my mind of my son because my future visions tell me he'll have a safer life if I don't know about him. Destiny could see the future, and she was like, this is going to give him the best life. So I need you to wipe my memory of him and make sure he never knows. He's like, Mom, that's super fucked up. Like, you didn't want me, and you wiped all the love and memory. Like, that's incredibly hurtful. And they have to have, they're just kind of working that out. And Mystique, and same thing. Nightcrawler's like, it's cool that you guys are our parents and shit, but you guys suck at it. You guys are like criminals, and you spent most of our childhood doing crime and not being parents. So it's very interesting little short story they put in there with Claremont just exploring their complicated family, and I was like, that's kind of cool. And then we move on to, what do we get? Let's get on to old Charles over here. Old Chuckster, my man, was out here. So at the end of his story, at the end of his story in Immortal X-Men, my man Xavier was out here teaming up with the robots. He double backstabbed everybody. So he double crossed the mutants, but that was more of a ploy to buy them time, I guess. So he's like, but they all feel like, yeah, you fucked us over, bro. Again, Xavier teaming up with Orchis, and then when the robots betrayed the humans, he betrayed the humans. And that nigga was like, look, bro, I'll help you get rid of the humans, robots, if you just spare the mutants. So the humans is like, damn, nigga, I thought you were the Martin Luther King, like, coexistence. The humans, let's protect them. They're important. Now he's like, throw them under the bus, bro. I'll help you genocide the world leaders if you just leave Krakoa alone. So it's like, okay, so he's wanted for all types of crimes from all types of people. So at the end of his story, he turns himself in to the human authorities. And then the X-Men are trying to murder him for obvious reasons. They send Wolverine to be like, yeah. Well, Wolverine sends himself, I guess. And he's just like, yeah, I'm about to kill Xavier because he was on some bullshit. But then Magneto intervenes as Wolverine is coming to murder Xavier. And Magneto's like, yeah, let me talk to my boy. Yeah, so he flings Wolverine as he usually does, like, metal skeleton, bye. Anyway, let me take my boy up here and let me talk to Xavier. They have a really interesting conversation as Xavier is now the clear criminal. Man turned himself in for all types of crimes. And Magneto, since he's been resurrected, has been more on like a anti-hero-ish, but more kind of like, we need to coexist and protect the humans too. We need to protect everybody. Like, oppression is oppression. That is the new lesson that I'm learning is Magneto, that oppression against humans is oppression against, it's all oppression. I need to fight oppression and not just mutant oppression. So Xavier's like, so what you're saying is Xavier was right. Fuck the Magneto was right, Tisha. He's like, kind of, but not really. You're in jail. So then we move on to Xavier's story. Xavier, that nigga, put a fail-safe in Tony Stark and Reed Richards' mind that whenever you build a prison for Professor Xavier, make a loophole so that I can get out. So he's in jail, but he is free to use his mental powers to walk around and to alter things. There's like a lady about to be assaulted by a bigot, and he takes that bigot to the top of a building just to show him like, hey, don't be fucking around with mutants. And he gets to have his little goodbye tour, and he goes to see.
And that's canon?
Yeah, it's canon. That's in X-Men 700. Nice. So he's just like, I knew one day, because I'm on my fuck shit, that niggas would put me in jail for something. So before they did that, I just put a suggestion in the brains of all the smartest people.
Do you think that will ever make Charles Xavier an asshole in live action?
Eventually, if they get to this kind of, if we get to 2000s Xavier, and they might even touch it in X-Men 97, we're getting kind of they're kind of leaning that we might be going towards that direction.
Oh, he's already an asshole in 97.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
nigga, you went out of outer space for some pussy. Nigga.
Yeah, you was getting bird pussy while we were getting genocided, and then you had a lot to say about people's
real shit. Your ass up there clapping cheeks.
Then you had a lot to say when you came back. Like, you guys need to be doing this.
Back talking shit too.
You guys need to do. You nigga, shut up. You weren't here, dog. So, yeah, we might get to that, Xavier, but this is another level. It looks like they're really leaning into, like, we've never seen Xavier this villainous, where he's going around and even his students don't want nothing to do with him. Like, most of his students couldn't see him. He was just kind of checking in like a ghost, but Jean can, since he's a Phoenix and also a telekinetic. And he's like, "What's up, Jean?" She's just like, "Whatever, nigga, I'm busy. I'm saving. I'm keeping this dwarf star from exploding. I'm saving a galaxy right now. Like, what you want, nigga?" And it's just like the tone that they're giving him, and he's just like, "Did I do the right thing?"
Has Captain Marvel and the Phoenix ever run the ones before?
No, I don't know. Probably, I'm sure they have in the comics. I can't think of what the outcome was. Probably something in Avengers versus X-Men or something. I don't know. But again, this is a new Phoenix, so like I said, this Phoenix, they hint that might be stronger than the last Phoenix. It's younger though.
What if they do that in Secret Wars?
Good. It's hard to do the Phoenix right and explore it in a way that's not very confusing.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Damn, that would be crazy.
Yeah, but that's literally just how the book ends. Professor X does an epilogue, and he does a commercial from the Ashes books that are about to come out. So he sets up every book. He goes to visit Cyclops, who's with Beast in Alaska, and they're looking at their new shitty base that looks from their new book, and they're about to repurpose an Orcus base. So they found an old enemy base. Like, yeah, why don't we make this our new hideout for some reason? Go read the Cyclops book if you want to see what's going on with that. I think that's going to be the adjectiveless X-Men book. It's just called X-Men, the Jed McKay book. And then we check in on Gambit and Rogue in New Orleans, and they're just having a second honeymoon. Like, yeah, well, now Krakoa's gone. What the fuck do we do? Why don't we just start our own team down here with some of the homies? That's going to be the Gail Simone X-Men book. I'll probably read that one. Uncanny X-Men. That's going to be the team with Gambit. It's going to be led by Rogue with Gambit, Jubilee, Nightcrawler, and Wolverine. So kind of like a 90s-esque throwback classic team. Cool. The Cyclops book's going to have Juggernaut, Cyclops, Magic, Oya, who is being called Tempest now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, sure. And forgot who else is on that team. Magneto, I think, is also on that team. And then we look at Kate Pride, who is just a barista in Chicago. If you want to read that book, that's going to be exceptional X-Men. And she's like, she just wants to be away from the mutant life. And then we move on to Forge is freaking out over something. X-Force is going to be about that. Then we've got Havoc is feeling bad about himself. He's going to join X-Factor. We've got an X-Factor book coming out. Storm is going to be going on the world stage. Storm is going to join the Avengers. And Storm... There you go. Had to get that off. Yeah. Storm is getting a solo book. She's going to also be joining the Avengers and joining the Avengers main team coming up in the fall time. So Storm is going to be, I guess, the new face of mutantism, as she should be. She was like one of these standouts of the Krakoa era, had some of the most character growth, and deserves to be the face. If there's going to be a face of X-Men not named Wolverine, it absolutely should be Storm in terms of representation for mutants in the X-Men universe. So I do like that. And like I mentioned before, it's going to be a solo Phoenix book. I'm excited about that. I do want to see Jean doing some cosmic shit. Like, don't just be victimized and all about the trauma and shit. Like, she's past that. We are a new Phoenix. Now we have a Phoenix-powered, overpowered Jean Grey who just defeated a godlike dominion of 100 galaxies. She can do whatever the fuck she wants, and she's going to be doing space savior shit. She's going to be saving people in space against cosmic level threats, and I like that. It's like we get a cool cosmic Phoenix book, so hopefully it's not a gutter era from the Ashes. I'll give the book some proper chances, but it's sad to see Krakoa go. It's just a sad time to see it go. Oh, also, my favorite part of this entire fucking book, Apocalypse being a motherfucking G. Apocalypse hearing about these peaceful, pacifist mutants being like, we respect you for trying to make us tougher, and we teach your ways and in the history books of how you know tried to make us stronger through combat, but we realized that love was the answer, and that being stronger doesn't necessarily mean better. And Apocalypse looked that man in his eye and said, "You pussy," and just started beating the shit out of him. And I was just like, "That's Apocalypse. That man's a G." He said, "Y'all on that sounded weak to me." I don't know what did y'all hear that? He said, "Y'all gonna take my island dream and be some farmers and pacifists and shit." Like, that's not what I taught you, nigga. So the man tries to shake his hand. He takes the kid's hand, yeets him, wallops him, and he's like, "Hey, yo, I'm about to beat all y'all asses." That's it. Just in the middle of the book, we just think about peaceful Krakoa is about to beam away, and he's just like, nah. Y'all got to run this fade with Apocalypse right now. X-Men, everybody. So he just starts beating everybody's fucking ass. He takes Wolverine's claws, stabs him in his own throat. He starts shanking Wolverine with his own fucking claws. He's throwing this man away. Nightcrawler pulls up and is like, "Hey, bro, you need to chill." And he's like, "Kurt, I like you. We all like you. Get the fuck away from me before I kill you." Nightcrawler grabs both this man's eyeballs and teleports away, taking both of this man's eyes out his head. Whoa. And just rolls out and just like, "Yeah, dog." He pulls up. He teleported Wolverine away before, so Wolverine's like over here choking. Nightcrawler comes back, dropping Apocalypse's eyeballs. Like, "Yeah, nigga." Told this nigga. It's like, you be forgetting that Nightcrawler can get busy when he wants to. That's what Apocalypse was saying. He's like, "You ain't about this life." And he was like, "Don't mistake me being a peaceful man saying I can't get busy, dog. Like, if I need to get down, I can get violent. I just don't want to." So just a reminder that Nightcrawler's a beast.
Damn.
He's like, he teleported his eyes, and Apocalypse is like, "Respect. That was actually well played. That was well played. I can fight in the dark, but still, like, all right, Nightcrawler, I underestimated your game. I was not familiar with your game." But just that whole storyline of Apocalypse just going buck wild on everybody is very funny. Until Jean's just like, "Just read their minds, they're happy." And he's like, "Okay, my people did advance past violence, and that is better." So
Well, one would say Apocalypse didn't see it coming.
he did not.
Can I get a Hoya? Hoya?
It's a perfect way to end the summary of Krakoa, because we truly got fucked. We got fucked by Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios, but all good things must come to an end. And ever since Hickman left, Krakoa was not what it, once was anyway, at his former glory. So it's cool. But again, we had guys like Karen Gillan and Al Ewing, and we had books like Immortal X-Men and X-Men Red. Really just gave us some special stories, even post Inferno. So it's an era that's going to be looked back fondly upon. It's going to be look back as the most ambitious era that we've ever had. We turned them into an orgy island of polyamorous political conquerors, cosmic, pioneers. That's a long way from the mansion in spandex punching people. And I never thought I would see the X-Men be able to turn into a high concept sci-fi, brand, but they did it. And I think largely it was successful more than it wasn't, even though there were definitely some misses. So I'm going to miss Krakoa. This is my favorite era of X-Men. I'm obsessed with the potential that the era had, and I hope it does get revisited one day with care, with time. Give it a break. I mean, it is what it is now. We have to accept that it's over now.
So, me and shouts to B-Mac, we was talking on the phone, I think it was yesterday, and we were just randomly talking about Mons or whatever, right? So I was like, bro, I never had a Swampert. I would like to see what's up with Swampert, but I was like, bro, we come to think about it, you are exactly one fucking Greninja with a protein grass knot away from getting fucked.
Yeah, any grass Pokemon. Like, so that was specific. How about just the common grass Pokemon? Rillaboom?
Masquerada. And that flower check will kill that nigga. So we kept talking. I was like, what is the last great rock type Pokemon?
Great. I mean, the Tyranitar, maybe?
And I was like, yeah, Tyranitar, but there isn't really a legendary rock Pokemon, is there?
Regirock. Most people are running Registeel, though. I mean, I think Registeel's a little better. But
And I was like, bro, I really
not
can't
a lot
think
of
of the
rock types in
last
general.
great rock type Pokemon. This shit was weird.
Glamour is really good. Not legendary. But
Oh yeah. There isn't no legendary rock. I mean, no really strong rock Pokemon. That's funny. That was just random. But yeah, we like there isn't no.
And Swampert can be protected by terrestrialization now at least.
Yeah, yeah. I brought that up too. You could just change this type.
Terra Steel, you'd be all right.
Some shit like that. Yep. What else did we talk about? Oh, I wanted the topic that I came up with in the car. Compare MCU movies to NBA players.
Oh my God, I don't even know, man. What do you want to do first?
Well, right now, I thought about it while I was in the car, but I would compare Moon Knight to Jabari Parker.
I'm okay with that. I'll take that. Potential, lots
So
of wasted
much
potential.
potential.
Yeah, just
So much
yeah,
potential.
but just didn't get there. Jabari's,
Yeah.
overseas right now. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I'm gonna go with Secret Invasion is
Jesus Christ.
Thanasis Antetokounmpo. That's what I got. Secret Invasion. You hear you saw Samuel L. Jackson, like that's like seeing Antetokounmpo. You see the name, and that like even the name is that couldn't elevate it enough. So it's like, damn, that's where we at.
It's not even a hooper, bro. That nigga don't get no minutes.
Hey, that show shouldn't have got no minutes.
Oh, dog, that is crazy. All right, so if I wanted to compare WandaVision, to me, okay, because I feel like WandaVision is the best MCU show. It was so ambitious. It was the first one, and it was very, very good. So I would have to give it. Luca.
Nah, that's too you real generous on that.
What?
WandaVision.
Luca is not the best player in the league. He's a great player in the league, but he's not the best player in the league.
Trae Young. Good all-star caliber friend. It's maybe, but we're not. Luca, you talking about prestige TV. Luca, one of the best, 5 players in the NBA. dog.
Trae Young is an all-star.
Is WandaVision one of the top 5 best shows on TV at any point?
I would have to remember what was coming on at that period in time. I would have to go back.
And that's one of my favorites. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Can I do better than Trey? What are we talking about, man? This
Okay, so it was
Jaylen Brown.
okay. I can live with that.
Can you live with that? Yeah,
I
it's
can
like
live
that
with I can live
acceptable.
with that. I can live with that. Okay, what about She-Hulk?
Oh my God.
I say Jordan Clarkson.
Jordan Clarkson. You're disrespectful to Jordan Clarkson. I'm thinking.
Can be a starter, has flashes, but is out of the top 5. He can't start, but he's a great, you know what I'm saying, a great piece. You give him 24 minutes a game, a night.
I'm gonna go with Raymond Felton.
He was a starter.
Hey, had a long, solid career.
He was a starter with the Knicks. Holy shit. Oh, man.
Don't tell. Oh, Echo.
Well,
Echo.
Jesus, Mary, in hell. Let's go. I give him Bruno Caboclo.
Okay. I was gonna go Jan Vesely for Echo.
He's too good.
Yeah,
He's way too good. You would have to say, fucking, what's that nigga that got traded from the Pacers to the Kings? His last name's Sacre or some shit.
Robert Sacre.
Yeah, some stupid,
Trying
Jesus.
to think of some other Marvel shows that weren't.
Fucking what was Echo is Kira Lewis Jr. That's who it is.
That's ain't that good. Kira Lewis better than that.
Kira Lewis is too good.
Too good.
He's
for
too
that.
good. Oh shit, yeah, Echo. Oh man. All right, what about Miss Marvel?
Kwame Brown. It had potential, solid potential. Ended up having a long career, but the show itself, nah, I'm not talking about Iman Vellani, but just the clandestine and all the just the light powers, like it all
know
went south
what?
for me.
I would say
Strong start, great potential though.
I would say that's the best comparison we have so far because Iman Vellani is the number one pick. The show is the bust.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's potential.
Yeah.
There was something there. There was something.
Yeah.
There's great promise there that just never was realized.
Yeah, she's the number one pick. The show is the bust. What other shows came out? Did we say Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yeah, that's aggressively mid. Who's just like Tobias Harris?
Aggressively mid.
Yeah,
Ding, 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 ding. We
Tobias
got
Harris.
it. We got it. Big budget show, big budget player. You're only gonna get 15 points, probably 10 in the closeout game.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, just yeah.
40 million a year, but 10 points in the closeout game.
Very forgettable impact sometimes on the court. It's
Speaking of forgettable, Hawkeye.
oh yeah, what's who else is aggressively mid out here? With DeAndre Hunter.
3-and-D, nice 3-and-D.
Yeah, it's like it's
I do two things. I do two things. I shoot and I guard. I'm with that.
Potential was there, but I don't think they really realized the potential. It's kind of similar to Miss Marvel, honestly.
Mm-hmm. What other show that they have? That might be all the shows. Is that all shows?
I hope. I'm tired of these shows, dog.
Yeah. There will be better ones. There will be better ones. But yeah. Anything else?
That's all I got.
That's all you got. Yeah, that's everything, man. Thank you all for joining us on a new episode of Channel Orange. I'm your host, the Sun God himself. Okay. I've been here with Puffco.
Long live Krakoa.
Long live Krakoa. Tell someone you love them, gang.